Hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of United We Nerd. Back at it
Hey,
again.
yo.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
Marcella, I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
How do you feel that Charles is in charge now?
Charles? King Charles? I can't speak to I don't know if it's appropriate for me to speak about his lordship. But hey man, it still sucks when somebody who's been a pretty big political figure for over 70 years decides to leave this mortal plane, right? I mean, 70 years is a long fucking time. So, props to that.
What tripped
And
me out the
now we
most
play the
is
waiting game.
what tripped me out the most is the fact that this fucker lived for like over even more, like almost 4 generations of people. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but she was around during World War II.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She was in it?
She was. She worked with Winston Churchill too.
She stormed Normandy.
Did she
Oh,
herself?
God.
Yeah, just herself, her own battalion.
Hmm.
Well, I think it's safe to say that the people of Ireland have been partying for the past week.
Ireland, Haiti.
Congratulations,
Ireland.
Congratulations, Ireland. This week was for you.
All the other colonized countries just partying.
But dead queens aside,
Just for clarification, she became queen in 1952, so post World War II. Just as a historical correction here.
sure, why not?
There's
But
some
yes,
Hey,
British
man,
guy
gotta
really
keep-
watching Marcelo.
but you know what?
Huh?
At least it was still in the family.
Are we talking about Game of Thrones?
If you want to be real, like this is like the fucking royal family is the closest we'll ever get to an actual Game of Thrones. Just very unexciting and no special effects on anyone.
Oh no, Prince Philip. There was some magic at work there.
Have you seen those pictures of him? I shouldn't laugh, but he looks like a fucking vampire, man.
He's those special kind of people that I call pre-dead.
Is this really how we're starting this podcast this week?
Hey,
shitting on royalty.
I mean, if you think about it, we're late to the game. Fucking TikTok had it on like minute 1. They had it locked
King Charles,
down.
if you want to come on the podcast, I know you're listening, but if you want to come on, you just hit us up. We'll have you on.
He's like, hey, yo. We get on this.
Take me out to dinner. What if you ran into King Charles on like the Sea of Thieves server?
Fucking take a shit. That's what I do.
He's probably gonna spam rolls on deck laughing.
Hop on a ship, find a crate, throw it overboard.
He's gonna hear, how come there's no more empathy anymore? There's no more empathy. He's fucking shit on his ship.
This is whatever happened to the Sea of Mates. Oh, yes. But yeah. Fun jabs aside. Welcome to the United Winner podcast. We're gonna have some fun today and also some not fun. But before we do that, my name is Brian. Hello. With me today, of course, as always, is my host Joel.
Hey yo.
And coming back, we have Marcelo.
Hello.
I don't know where he is.
Oh,
Here.
Marcelo,
I'm here, alive.
Hey, it's been a little bit. Let's start with you. How have you been?
No, it hasn't. What are you talking about? I was on the last one,
No, you weren't.
right?
No,
Right?
we
I
did.
was.
We did a lot. We did two live streams without you.
Well, the invitation must have gotten lost for sure then. Anyways, I'm doing good. I've just been busy being an adult. You know how that goes, living, paying bills, uh fantasizing about buying expensive cars.
Of course.
Ain't that American?
But this week has been pretty chill. I really haven't had an opportunity to do much. I installed the Modern Warfare 2 beta, so I'll probably
Oh, is that
try to
out?
check out some at some point.
Nice.
Yeah, if you got your hands on beta codes, it is. Thank you,
Okay.
Activision.
It's not open then, huh?
It's public. It's a public beta.
Oh shit. Okay. Well,
But I
Hell yeah.
but I didn't have to I
okay.
didn't have to beg for beta codes or anything.
So let me ask you this then: how big is it? How many gigs are we talking?
You know what? I don't know. My internet in my living room is so quick that I didn't even notice when it was finished downloading, but it was probably like 30 gigs.
Okay.
Maybe a little, maybe more. It was big enough to where I had to go into my PS5 because I realized I had capped already my hard drive space for with games and stuff. So I need to go find myself an external for that so I can keep downloading games since I don't have a disk drive. Oh, that's a lie. I do have a disk drive. What am I talking about? But yeah, I'll probably check it out tonight or before I leave for my business trip next week. So
Okay. Cool. So is it
yeah, other than
is it
that,
just multiplayer?
uh-huh. Just multiplayer. Yeah,
Like
it's a
no
multiplayer beta.
Warzone, just a regular.
I I think it's Warzone. I think there's Warzone 2 on there. I don't know. I haven't explored it enough to
Okay.
provide you with the appropriate details.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to checking it out. I know most people shit on Vanguard, but I actually really enjoyed Vanguard. The most surprising game I've played in this week was the Paw Patrol video game for PS4.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
Hey,
Let me
yo.
tell you.
Is it time? Is it time to slowly let the
No, God,
youngins
no.
fucking? Oh.
No, God, no. Those things are my PS5 controllers are expensive. I'm not putting them in my kids' hands.
Did you play as Chase?
I did, and then Marshall,
Hey, yo.
which I'm sure you know all the characters, right?
I know those two.
See, I'm like the only one that doesn't frequently work with kids, so I'm like totally out of loop.
You're saying you're not a Marshall stan?
Which one is Marshall?
He's the one with the little fire truck.
So, are all the dogs in Paw Patrol just different like representations for certain public services?
Yes. So, all right, we're gonna get into a discussion about Paw Patrol now.
Oh boy. Okay, this is the first. Let's go.
This little boy, which I don't know why this little boy has the amount of responsibility and ownership of so many dogs and like a fucking like mega teen tower thing,
So there is
right?
actual humans in
So
the show.
there is, yeah, and the dogs can communicate with the humans. The dogs speak English.
That's convenient.
Okay,
Yeah, so
go on.
they can communicate with each other. So we have Chase, who's a police dog, Marshall, who is the firefighter. Then we have Sky, who flies in a helicopter, and Rubble, who's like the construction guy. Then you have Rocky, who's like some rock, who has like a garbage truck, I think. And then there's a whole fucking others, like there's like they have like a whole like super league of super pets or something, I don't know. And then occasionally they do get superpowers where they like can like fly around and shit and like have like lightning powers and stuff. And
Okay.
sometimes they can turn into merdogs and swim underwater, so just depends on what
Damn.
episode we're watching.
So
There's
are
a
you
full lore to this, guys.
so this is this the thing that just happens that once you have kids you just get fully immersed into the Paw Patrol dimension?
I mean, there's nothing else to watch, right? I mean, depending, like, our kids when they were little, it's not like we could leave them alone in a room and just do whatever.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So, yes, we were stuck watching a lot of it. Hold on. I gotta.
Well, Joel, I'll kick it to you for right now.
I really wanted to know if he has a chase tattoo, but that's all right.
Do you have a chase tattoo?
No, if Marcelo did. Damn it.
Oh.
It's okay. We'll find out next year. All right, Brian. What's your question?
Well, what have you been up to?
Well, a few things. Before we cancel an episode because it was too fucking hot. My wife and I saw. Did I say we saw Kendrick Lamar? I don't know if I said that already, but I just want to reiterate. It's still on my mind. It was an amazing concert. I'm wearing merch from the show. Steppers hat, bucket hat. It was really good. Yeah, it was electrifying. One of the best concerts I've ever been to. So, if you're a fan of Kendrick Lamar, you got to go check him out. The openers are really good too. Tana Leone and Baby Keem. So hell yeah to that. Just been same old things, just working. As far as like gaming goes, been playing Destiny. They re-released Kingsfall. I completed that with my teams. It's been an interesting ride. My experience with Kingsfall was not good. Oh,
We hear you, Marcel.
what's up?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I asked if you did the raid solo.
Oh yeah, 3 times already. Yeah, I actually hated Kingsfall and Destiny 1, so it was nice having people who knew what to do and guided me through that. Killed Oryx a couple times already. Of course, the exotic is tied to RNG. Fun. One of my clanmates already got it twice in a row. That's fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sea of Thieves has the new adventure coming out this weekend. I know a couple friends are gonna dive right into it, check it out.
Hell yeah.
Looking forward to that. Last week, Brian and another Brian, we played Dungeons and Dragons. We continued the one shot.
Yeah.
Some funny shit. It was the other Brian's first time playing, so he just really got engaged. He's playing with a friend of ours named Rian, and they just kept going back and forth, feeding off each other. It was pretty hilarious.
It was great. It was, I think, it was just one of those like really rare moments that like two people just organically just start a rivalry with each other. It was great.
It was fun. I'll just give you the quick Spark Notes version. Basically, they fought zombies, fought with Ghost Rider, made a pig and imbued it with magical powers. So it was pretty fun. Other than that, just we've been we're gonna pass off HVZ soon to other mods, and we're really getting to gear. So we've just been practicing for our next game. It's gonna be pretty big, I think. And yeah, we're gonna finally like really pass off the reins. We're having that conversation, dragging our feet, but finally gonna get there and do that. Other than that, I think that's it. Just enjoying all the D23 news. That's fun and stuff, and lots of good content coming this way. Of course, we have that Ubisoft Forward live react. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. The new Assassin's Creed game's coming out, looking dope. They finally did the Feudal Japan or the Ninja one. That's finally been waiting for that for years. And
I know, right?
And then we're gonna have Mirage. Looks really dope. I'm not familiar with the character Basim yet, but it's gonna be about him. And Hexa, that looks interesting too. I hope it's very mystical, magical. Of course, before we pass it on to you, Brian, just Netflix a collaboration, which is really interesting. So I can't wait to see if they do animation or live action. I really don't like that logo, but it is what it is. So,
So I think they announced that it was going to be a live action series,
nice.
which, I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. It could go either way. Like we already had a movie, and the
We
movie
did.
was something. Like it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't I don't think it was the experience that a lot of fans were looking for exactly.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I kind of wish they gave more details about like what the series was, but apparently they're also going to be making a game just for Netflix, whatever that means. I don't know.
Choose your own adventure, Assassin's Creed. Anyone?
Now that actually
Pretty
wouldn't be
interesting.
bad. I think if Assassin's Creed had choose your own adventure, it actually kind of fit within the universe a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Brian? What you been up to? What's new in the world of Brian?
A lot actually. Uh, as I said on the last podcast, I went to PAX, which was a lot of PAX West to be more specific. It was a lot of fun. Um, yeah, basically, met with Ben. Ben was nice enough to let some of us stay at his place. Yeah, it was pretty nice. This was my first like actual convention back after the whole like COVID thing happened. So it was a little weird at first, but then after a while it kind of felt normal in a way. You know, Seattle is very, strict on their masking laws for like events and stuff. So everybody had to check in, get a like a little wristband. Actually, I think I still have it right here. They gave us like these little wristbands that we had to wear all weekend just to say that hey, like you got checked in, you had your vaccinations or like you get a negative test. So it was kind of like a nice little like safety feeling for some people. Because like we had other people with us. We had Lisa, who's been on the show before, was there. Um, and of course, for her music isn't as great as she's told us before. So it was just kind of like a nice little like safety thing there, and we had to wear a mask inside the convention center the whole time. So that was nice. But as far as like the games, boy, there wasn't as much as like a big developer present this year. Like you had your Nintendos, you had like Bandai was there. I'm trying to think. Wasn't Xbox, there wasn't Sony, there oh, wasn't Capcom either, I don't think. Um, but there was a lot of really cool, like smaller indie games that were there, and it really did feel like this year was like the year for indie games at PAX. Like they had a majority of the
Interesting.
entire convention floor, and it was actually really cool because I got to play and I got to find a lot of games that I didn't know existed. Um, see, I made a little tiny list of games that I kind of want to make sure I mentioned. The top of my list, which I didn't. This is a game I didn't know about at all. Um, when I played it, it's called No Longer Human. It was a PM Studios game. It's this very stylistic, like side-scrolling, action like combat game. Um, what really surprised me
Mm-hmm.
though is how smooth it felt. Like it kind of had a nice flow to it. And so like the whole premise is that you're kind of this I don't know, I wouldn't say like washed up is the best word, but it's the only word I can think of. But like you're just like ex kind of like pop star kind of person, and then you're kind of down on your luck, and then like her only escape is like basically like getting a lot of dopamine, and that's kind of like the game's gauge
Mm.
on how like fast paced the action is that like the more combos and stuff you do, and it has like a style meter kind of like Devil May Cry, but like the more you raise that meter up, the more dopamine you get, and like the more like shit you can do. Like her main weapon is a scythe, and she has like her combo or her lights and her heavies, but then if you press like the B button, like on the Xbox controller, she does this really cool like the whole like samurai cut down the middle kind of move where she just dashes forward and like cuts through like a bunch of people. But what's tight that the screen actually cuts in the middle and does like like a horizontal slice. Um, and then of course like from there like she has other like moves, like she was able to kind of shoot a projectile in midair to like kind of knock out a bunch of people. And then of course like the better you do, the faster you move. So when you move on to the next phase of like the level, you just start fucking darting through, and there's like obstacles you have to jump over or platforms you have to jump on. But then you're going at a faster and faster pace the better you do, and it just felt really good. Marcella, I think you would really like the soundtrack. This It had a really good soundtrack. Um,
Really?
if I had to, if I had to,
what was the game called again?
it's No Longer Human. If you're looking it up, you have to put game, because that's how like hidden this game was. So like if anybody out there wants to look it up, just go No Longer Human game on any search engine, and then it should pop up. It has like this like neat like grid, like a black screen like grid look to it. It was really sick. I
Mm-hmm.
loved it. I actually really loved it a lot. There's no release date for it yet, so I'll be on the lookout for that. Um, what else? Oh, there was this. I think Joel, I know you saw picture. I posted some pictures of it on Instagram when I was there. There's this mech shooter game called Galahad 3093, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it was really cool. It actually already came out by the time PAX happened, so they were pretty much using it as like an advertisement for the game. But you could buy it on Steam right now. I think I don't know if it's still on sale, but it's like the Founders Edition is like $24.
It's pretty
Um,
decent price.
Pretty decent, really cool game. They're still like building off of it, so there's only really like multiplayer right now. But like the designs are really cool. How this game is that there are different archetypes. Like there's different pilots that do specialized like skills, and then within those there are 4
Mm-hmm.
different sizes of mechs that you can choose from, and they'll all, some of them will be faster, some of them will have more, like durability and like capability, like firepower capabilities. And they'll have their own special abilities that they'll do. Like one of them has like a teleport ability where you can like look at a distance and kind of like teleport. Other ones are defense based, and like some other like special like weapons that you can do. What I thought was really cool is that you can decide what you equipped onto the mech. So the mech has like a main weapon on both sides, and then it has 2 sub weapons, and you can choose, but from a list of weapons, you can choose whatever you want to load out with. So it's like if you wanted 2 Gatling guns, and then auto sentries, you can have those. You can have like a missile pod and a beam cannon, or you can just fucking have all beam cannons or just all missiles. you could do that. And it was really weird because I'm not a big PC gamer. And right now there's only real PC um controls. So it was interesting kind of going back to like it kind of felt like OG Battlefront days of just sitting down and just kind of like learning how to like just fucking master the controls, and it was really cool. And what's nice is that they have the option for first person or third person. So if you want to feel like you're in the cockpit, you can do that, or if you want to see your customized mech, you can just scroll out and then see the entire battlefield with your mech, and it was pretty cool.
Nope. Sounds fun.
Yeah, that was pretty dope.
Was the customization like further with that, like paint jobs and colors
Yes.
and arms, jetpacks, all that shit?
Yeah, you can change the color completely on your mech, and and there's also sprays that you can put on your mech to even customize it
Nice.
further than that. And I think you can also even customize the pilot. I don't hold me on that. I haven't delved into it too much. I'm just more focused on the gameplay for now. Um, but yeah, that was really cool. There was, of course, I was able to get a pass for the Nintendo booth, and they're showing off Splatoon 3.
Nice.
I mean, I've been playing Splatoon since the first one, so it's like it's as Splatoon as you can get. There's some cool new features, some new weapons. And it came out last Friday, so the game is like out. Anybody can play it, so it's a lot of fun. Probably
I think this
Nintendo's.
is going to be the first split. This will be the first Splatoon game that I buy. I haven't bought one
Oh,
before, but I think this is going to be the one. Just that way, it's a little bit safer for kids, and
hmm.
so I'm going to give it a shot.
Oh, I think if this is your first one coming in, I think this is the best one because out of the three, I think this one has the most worth it content. Um,
Nice.
you have your multiplayer. It has the bit. This is not saying much. This is the best lobby they've ever had for Splatoon, like online lobby. Um, they of course they have their story mode, which is like a mixture of just kind of like obstacle courses and like boss battles that you can do. Um, you have your horde mode that you can play up to 4 players, and it's just like a big horde mode that you can use to unlock like special items and stuff like that. You have your ranked, and then of course, every couple months there will be a Splatfest where it's just like a weekend like celebration, and people pick their sides and see who wins by the end of the weekend. It's a lot of fun. And the one mode I wasn't expecting, they actually made a card game within the game.
Interesting.
So it's basically what if you're playing Splatoon, but it was a card game. So it's like you can like make a 15 card deck, and each deck has like a ink layout. Like if you guys remember Dungeon Dice Monsters from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Do I? Of course. I bought the set.
I have it back there somewhere. But it's kind of like that, where it's like they play the card and it lays down a certain like path of ink, and then the whole goal is that you're supposed to lay out more ink than your opponent to get more points to win. um but there's like different strategies compared to like the actual regular game, where like each card has like usually like the colored ink is whatever side you're on, like yellow or blue, but then you have these like different colored blocks that if you lay down ink in a certain sequence, they'll like light on fire and basically give you a special point. And then the more special points you get on each card, they have a different value. But if you decide to use a special on that card, it gives you the option to overlay on your opponent's ink.
Interesting.
Because in the normal game you can't lay over a card over some your opponent's already laid down ink. And so that's kind of like a way to kind of like
Mm-hmm.
near the end of the game, it's just like bam, here you go. I'm gonna like fuck up your shit. That's really fun. Um, And of course, you have the people that are insanely good at like the fucking stencil art. So you can like post up, make art pieces on the game and like have it post up, and then people's characters will be kind of like just in like the main area, and then you can walk past them and they'll show them like their most recent post. And like some people are very fucking sketch, but then also some people are just really good artists with like the little fucking stylist on like a switch screen, and their only available color is like
Mhm.
black. You know, it's like very surprising.
Interesting.
Yeah, Splatoon's a fun game. I'd recommend it for anybody that I say probably Nintendo's best shooter. I mean, they don't really have many shooters at all, but I feel like it's probably one of their best multiplayer games. You know, surprisingly, it works decent for like Nintendo's shitty ass online servers.
Online store. I
Yeah.
was gonna say. Uh,
um yeah, that was fun. I got to talk
I
to
feel like,
some.
I mean, really, Splatoon's been the only game I think that's really taken full advantage of the shitty, like, online service that Nintendo offers. Um, well, I guess what was that boxing one called that had its moment? With like the guy with the
Arms.
spring arms.
Yeah,
Arms.
arms.
Oh, there you go.
I to this day will be a defender of arms. I know it wasn't a popular game, but I still had my fun with it, and I felt like it I think Arms' biggest problem was that even though there was content there, there wasn't enough for a Nintendo fan base.
Yeah.
Because you had like your arcade mode and you had your multiplayer mode. And then like within the multiplayer mode there's like some different match types, but then that pretty much that was it, you know. And it was just kind of like, oh, collect all the different arms for the characters, you know. It's like, okay. Or if you're a badge hunter, you want to try to collect all the badges there in the game. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
for somebody that's not really too into fighting games or is just like very, very casual, I could see why people fell off of it really quickly. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean that's a different story. That's a whole different story. But yeah, the people in Nintendo booth really cool. Talked to them for a little bit just to ask them questions about the game, and they were very nice and very cool. Um, what else? What else? I unfortunately didn't get to play any Devolver Digital games, but like their booth was great. Their booth they pretty much made like um maybe not a full size, but almost a full size movie theater, like like booth
Mm-hmm.
design, and it looked really sick. And then like the backside was like their little store where you can buy merch, and then on all the other sides were all the different game demos that they had. And so it's like you got to you know, kind of explore a little bit. Like the front had like a seating area, like if you're in front of a movie theater. And so like you got to sit on benches and like play the games and stuff. And then like on the side there was like this cutout where they had like some makeshift arcade cabinets where they were displaying one of their other games, and it looked really cool. Um, I heard that Angry Foot was really good. It was one of the standout games where basically it's just like this first person like Miami Hotline Miami kind of game, but like your main weapon is your
Ooh, nice.
is just you kicking. Um, but yeah, I didn't get to play anything from there, unfortunately. I did get to actually get my hands on WrestleQuest, the wrestling RPG that Skybound is doing. It was really fun. I actually see when it comes to traditional RPG games like that, it's really hard for me to connect to it, but this one really got me good. Like one because I'm a wrestling fan, but the concept is interesting. So they managed to get the license for
Mhm.
actual like 80s, early 90s wrestlers to be in the game. So it's like you got your Macho Man, you got the Road Warriors, you got Sergeant Slaughter, you have fucking Jeff Jarrett, which by the way, Jeff Jarrett was there. He did a panel
Damn.
for wrestling and video games, and he was at the booth. And of course,
Haven't heard that name
me,
in years.
and of course, me being the weird person I am, I couldn't bring myself up to go meet him. But it was just really cool. He was there all day too, and it was like cool because normally, like when you have like guests like that, they're kind of just there for their job and they just leave. But like he was fucking there all day long. But the game's really cool because it wasn't exactly what I thought it was. I just thought it was just a wrestling RPG, right? But apparently their take on this is that what if you were a little kid and you took all of your wrestling action figures and all of your other action figures that you would just take and play around and like do matches and stuff like that. And what if they just took that and turned it into an RPG? So like
Oh, sick.
every character in the game is some form of action figure. And like
Nice.
you got like Lego people, in the crowd
That's
are just
fun.
just different like toys. I think there was even like a sock monkey in the crowd, just like holding up a sign and shit. And it was really cool. And like the whole thing is obviously like, everybody praises like Macho Man. Like they have a big ass statue of like Macho Man on like this island like place that you're at, and like you play Randy Santos, and like the whole idea is that you're training to like become pretty much like the next Macho Man. Like you idolize Macho Man, and so like you're just like going throughout his adventure of like training and like just becoming like the best wrestler he can be. Um, and it's
Nice.
like and it's really cool. Like the demo, kind of showed you that you weren't able to do it, but you will be able to customize how your character looks. Um, of course, like you learn different moves that you can use. And what I thought was really cool is when you level up, the level up animation is that your action figure like toy box. It's like your character in its like action, like if it was on like a store shelf, it's like box like it levels up and it kind of like gets a little bit more pristine as you level up. So it's like the quality of your figure just keeps improving and improving, and it's like it was really cool to see.
It's a nice
I'm, de-
touch.
I'm definitely looking forward to that game. Um, I didn't play this one, but I did buy it when it came out this week. Justice Sucks by Tiny Build.
Heard
Um,
about that.
Really fun. Um, without spoiling it, pretty much you play this little kind of like Roomba, right? And it's obviously, it's like a Roomba and kind of like an AI, and it's like, you clean up and stuff, but pretty much the company that makes like these AI like Roombas strong arms people into buying the newest version of of their units. And so the CEO of this company notices that you're kind of not doing what you're supposed to be doing, as far as just like you're not like breaking down, you're doing your job too good. So they send
Mm-hmm.
people to break into your owner's house and kidnap your family, and it becomes this kind of like sneaking, you know like assassination kind of game where you have to figure out ways to pretty much kill these intruders. um and pretty much you use it, but you can like hack anything in like the building you're in. So like you could trick somebody into coming over like a fire, like a water sprinkler, and then hack an electrical outlet to electrocute them, or like you could have a coffee pot spray like hot steam onto somebody. And then of course as a Roomba, you have once you knock them out, you have to clean up the bodies. and basically they do it by devouring the people.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
But it's in like a
it's a
very
fun
like,
concept.
but it's in like a very silly like crazy art style, which makes it just like kind of like strangely adorable in a way. And of course, if you get your hands on it, like, and if you know JoJo, there is definitely some JoJo inspiration in this game.
Hmm.
I'll just say that you
Oh, it's amazing.
at some point you do get a stand,
Nice.
story wise.
Spider. Just want to say thank you, Peter, for stopping by and saying hi.
Oh,
Yeah,
Peter.
Tactical Assault Roomba is bound. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
But
stopping
yeah,
by, Peter.
that's a definitely good game. I recommend that game to anybody that just like silly games like that. I know I'm probably forgetting a few other games that I played, but just to kind of get off that. Had a lot of fun, PAX. I do look forward to going back next year, of course. And hopefully we all can go next year.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
so like
too.
I made the decision that next year I will definitely be going,
Nice. Hell yeah.
regardless
Oh, well,
of like.
I gotta go then. 2 out of 3. No, might as well make
Gotta
it
have the
3 out of
squad
3.
there.
Yep.
Um
My second time going.
I do wanna say this before we get off of PAX. I met somebody there that is really cool. His name's Preston. He is from the Level Zero podcast. Um it was actually really cool. Like we were just hanging out in like the outer area, and then he came up to us and asked like, oh, like, hey, my name's Preston from Level Zero. I just want to was wondering if I can get like a sound bite of like what your favorite thing was about PAX 4. I was like, oh yeah, sure. Um, and he was really cool. We just talked for a little bit. And yeah, it was interesting because this was my first attempt of trying to like figure out. It's like, oh, I wanted to tell. It's like I want to tell him that I also have a podcast, but I don't want to feel like I'm a fucking like sleaze about it. So like I like cautiously just like, oh yeah, I have a podcast too. And like I just like pulled out like a business card, and it was actually really cool. We talked, and it's like we were just talking about how like as far as like podcasting goes, we're both pretty like still trying to figure things out, and so it's like we kind of had this like common ground. And it was a really cool interaction. It was an interaction that I really enjoyed, and it kind of helped me make my PAX experience a little bit better. So um anybody that wants to listen to some good people talk about video games and just like the industry in general, Level Zero podcast. Yeah, thanks for talking to me, Preston. It was really fun. I hope we can talk more in the future. But yeah,
Maybe a special guest in the future.
hey, gonna put it out to the winds and see what happens. But yeah, Level Zero podcast, check it out. Got some good people there.
I was
Yeah,
listening to them today.
yeah, they just had they actually had a podcast come out today, so go check it out. Very good listen. Um, okay. I think we should probably get into the news. There is a lot of news.
A lot of news.
I'm gonna ask you guys, do you wanna have some good news first or some bad news?
Mm. Just give me the bad news. Let's rip it off. Let's rip that
All
band-aid
right.
off. Let's do it.
All right. So despite
Do it.
having this past week of very fun presentations for the video gaming industry, some very not fun things in the gaming industry have been also happening this past week. There have been more layoffs, more specifically in the games journalism side as well as content creation side. Let's start with the first batch. Future, um, a video game news outlet, owned by in the UK. Pretty much Future is the parent company that kind of owns Tech Radar, Android Central, Windows Central, and iMore. Pretty much laid off a bunch of people, which really sucks. As far as I could find, there wasn't any specifics. It's kind of like the same kind of deal, like, earnings and stuff like that, and like company had letting things go.
Mhm.
And it just really sucks. And of course, you have the whole idea where it's like executives and CEOs are getting more money for some stupid ass reason. And then, of course, you're letting a bunch of people that really work hard, go. Um, it's been kind of like, unfortunately, normal thing as of late, and it's kind of like very unfortunate
Yeah.
because you don't want to see people, especially in the industry you like, go without a job for no reason. Um, but yeah, that was just the start, though. The other day, from this recording, G4 also had some layoffs as well. The Comcast Open Company had to let go this past week at least 20 of their employees.
Dang.
Which is weird because they've only been back for about a year. So
Mm-hmm.
according to some reports, apparently their financial situation wasn't as it seemed, according to some people. As a kind of update from host Fiona Nova and Case Blackwell from G4, apparently the layoffs were more like behind the scenes. So no on-air talent has been let go. And as far as like programming goes, none of their shows have been canceled. But
Gotcha.
still very, very sucks. It very much sucks because, I think all of us know just from like our theater background, like, background people do a lot of work too, especially in production. So it's there's no specifics, at least as far as I was able to find, on like exactly like what departments had the layoffs from G4, but it's still kind of sad because like this past year, like G4's return, and like everybody was like, oh man, G4's back, and everything, the content's been really good, and it feels like it's a fresh new start for the company, especially since they kind of got shafted by Comcast in the past. So hearing that they're laying off people so soon kind of sends off like a red flag to a lot of people, a lot of fans, a lot of people watching. So yeah, that's another thing. Of course, I kind of saved the third story for last. This just happened today. As of recording, September 15th on a Thursday. The gaming news company sorry, I'm just trying to find my place. Okay, so the game site Fanbyte, which was owned by Tencent, by the way, this is something I want to keep in mind. Owned by Tencent. Today pretty much laid off almost entirely everybody. It was an extreme mass layoff of Fanbyte.
What?
It was very sudden. I'm just kind of skimming the TechCrunch article. The layoff announcements were so sudden that people that got laid off that morning were doing their work for the day for the company. Some people weren't even awake for the announcement. They had to find
Wow.
out through other means. Of course,
That
the kind of excuse, of course, again, is budget. Which, when you think about it, since it's a Tencent owned company, with Tencent being one of the highest earning fucking companies in the world right now, you wonder, it's like, how does Tencent not have money for this website? Let me see. I want to
Maybe.
see.
I mean, maybe because it was a like a journalism type thing, right?
Yeah, so it was a gaming. It was a gaming site, like a news website, which did
So they
really good
probably
work.
weren't generating enough ad revenue, or they probably weren't getting the like the ads to be able to, like I understand that Tencent themselves are like billionaires, right? That's one of the biggest overseas companies, and they own a ton
So
of properties. But
so Tencent, their revenue for last year was $88 billion.
that's it, huh?
Um, and the year before that, they made like 1 trillion. So
Jesus
it is
Christ.
less. It is less, I guess. But yeah, I mean, Marcel, like this is it's not the same field exactly, but you're a businessman. I could totally believe that to be the case. Like it just comes down to ad revenue. Like this
Totally,
is
ad
this is
revenue. It could
speculation.
be,
We don't know anything, but it's like, why else would you let go of almost everybody just like that?
yeah. I mean, like you say that, but like, on the other hand, it's like, why the fuck did HBO cancel all that stuff too? Like,
That's
uh,
Discovery.
I'm still pissed about all that stuff. Yeah.
That's okay. Legendary is like, fuck you guys.
Thank you, Legendary, for pulling out. I was like, I was
Yeah.
worried. They're like, nah, out of here, out of this shit.
It's like, okay, we're gonna go make some more Godzilla King Kong, and we're gonna make a Gundam movie. Fuck y'all. We out.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Um,
Hell yeah.
but yeah, like this really sucks. Uh, let's see. Yeah, Tencent laid off 5% of its workforce, impacting over like 5,000 people.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, no, this was like a while ago. So they cut off even more people. Jesus
What?
Christ. Ah, it sucks. We hope that all these people that got laid off find work really soon, and hopefully in a better situation. Um, somebody posted on Twitter. I forget who. I apologize. But it's like, well, I guess it's time to start investing my time into small uh, game journalist sites, companies, like enough of these big time companies, because they're all obviously just focus on the dollar amount and not the quality of work. Oh, that sucks.
True.
I I always hate.
Happens.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, too big to fail, right? We've heard that before.
Too big to fail. Depends on what you mean by fail.
Yeah, right. you gonna say, Brian?
No, I just hate reading news like this. It never feels good to just have the information that a lot of people just lost their jobs in the shittiest way possible. It sucks, especially right now during these times. You know.
Yep.
All right. Okay. We got through some of the biggest bad news. So how about some hopefully fun news? Um, well, this is actually a good branch because this is kind of some good and bad news. Um, so we got to see what Overwatch 2's Battle Pass is going to be and how they're going to run their seasons.
Yeah.
The bad news about this is that this information got leaked, and so Blizzard had to pretty much reveal this early. Apparently, according to reports, they're getting ready to reveal this next week, but because someone posted on 4chan, um, everybody pretty had much rush, which also is another thing that kind of sucks because when people leak this kind of shit, not only do did we lose a
We lost Marcelo. Yep.
oh
Oh.
okay well, you know, this is a if it ain't one thing, it's another, right?
Sony's mad. He didn't mention Morbius within 5 minutes. They're like,
Hold on, guys. Let's just take a second here.
experiencing some technical difficulties where I am between two screens. Woo. Yeah, I'm taking a look at the battle pass right now just to continue the conversation. It looks like there's season 1 free tier. Of course, there's a premium tier you pay for. Comes with a bunch of different things. I do like you still unlock the new character at tier 55 for the free, as well as 2 legendary skins, weapon charms. Ooh, picking it up from Apex. Smart move, Overwatch. Highlight intro, additional items, of course. Battle Pass, of course, just like any other game, offers really good stuff. According to this article at Eurogamer.net, immediate access to Kiriko, the new hero who's been unveiled, 50% XP Battle Pass boost, mythic skin, legendary skins, epic skins, 3 play of the game intros, 4 weapon charms, 3 emotes, 3 souvenirs. I don't even know what that is yet. Poses, name cards, icons, 11 voice lines, and 12 sprays. You are paying for a lot of good customizable stuff. Of course, I'm sure with grinding and gaming, you can unlock more. I do think Overwatch could give more to their free players, considering fan bases, but maybe they're testing to see how it goes as well. What were your thoughts, Brian? Really quick. I know you're. Oh, looks like you fixed it. What are your thoughts on the battle pass?
Man, I can multitask.
Hell yeah, I can't unless it's a raid.
So
Oh,
I've seen the discourse, right? A lot of people have been talking about this battle pass system. Um, I'm gonna be honest. I personally think it's a pretty good game pad, like battle pass. If I'm being completely honest, because what do we got here? Let me pull it up. So like any other one, we have the free version and we have the premium version, right? Um, what I think some of the biggest controversy about this is mostly coming from the diehard fans of Overwatch 1. Because in that way, like it was you just buy the game, all the deals, all the downloadable characters and stuff are free when they
yeah.
come out, and then you have your loot boxes. Of course, now that was what, back 2013, 2014 when Overwatch 1 came out. It's a long time ago. Or 16.
Double check because I know we have some good Overwatch fans up in here who feel the need to be correct. So let's see Overwatch. Keep going, Brian. Oh, 2016, by the way.
2016. So I mean, it's been out for a long time, and we've now
About 6
kind
years.
of gone into the era of loot boxes are pretty much on their way out. You know, there's some games that are still holding on to them, but um, I think between both, battle passes have been proven to be the more superior system. At least in my opinion, because for battle passes, you can see what's on there. You can judge whether or not you feel like it's going to be worth throwing down the $10 a season to get all the premium stuff that you would want. I understand that for some people it's kind of annoying that the new characters are going to be locked behind the battle pass. Of
Yeah.
course, if you spend the $10 for the premium, it's an instant unlock. But we have to think about it now. Overwatch 2 is going to be a free game.
Mm-hmm.
At least the multiplayer is going to be a free game. They didn't say how much the story mode's going to be. That's going to be paid for. But you know, free games as service is really good nowadays because it means that more people have a chance to play it.
Mm.
There's no money wall anymore, so now even more people can try Overwatch that might not have wanted to throw down the $60 to, you know, buy a 6-7 year old game. However long it's been.
Years about.
Yeah, so I just wanted to like see, because I know they had a roadmap somewhere, but it's pretty much for this first season. You know, they had the two characters they've already like pre-announced already, like Junker Queen and Sojourn, are gonna just be available on release. The new one they just announced, Kiriko, is gonna be in the battle pass. You get, I believe, 6 new maps in the game, new game mode, and of course, I think they said that all the old maps are coming back, and they're gonna get like the small upgrades. Let's see. Pretty much like for a free game, that's still a lot of stuff. You know, battle pass aside, that's still like a lot of shit. Um, Now I know that you know, people are still bummed that you know they'll either have to grind the battle pass or just pay the money up front to get the new character. I think they said that going forward, new characters are locked out of ranked for like 2 weeks after they're released. So when the new season starts, you're not going to be able to play in ranked anyway. So I don't know if that's like a big deal. I never really played ranked at all, like maybe a little bit. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a new thing. I'm sure there are gonna be people that don't like it. You know, like I come from the world where a lot of my games now have battle passes, and I just kind of like learn to, if I like the game enough, I'll buy it. If not, I don't buy it. You know, like Sea of Thieves, Destiny, Fortnite was pretty much the one that pioneered fucking battle passes. Um, Multiverses has a battle pass. And there's a lot of other games that have the same kind of style thing, and it's gonna be just the way it is. I don't know. Like, I know that you're thinking about trying it out when it comes out. Does this bother you at all?
What bothers me? Like in what way?
Just kind of like the idea that what once was just free on release is now going to be you're gonna have to either work for it or pay for it.
Same thing. We've been familiar with the battle pass, right? As far as Overwatch goes, it'll be a weird adjustment. I don't even know if I'm going to be playing it that much. I probably will because you guys will be playing it, and I know we have some diehard Overwatch fans among us.
Mhm.
I already play some grindy ass games. It's another one added to the list. You know, again, I stand by my first statement. I think that they could give more, free people more, but I mean, their business, right? They need to have more stuff in the battle pass. I understand that. But yeah, 6 maps is cool. I like this model. Loot boxes were sometimes annoying, sometimes cool. I mean, it's like that RNG. It's a good feeling. You open that box, whoa, something good is in it. But at least you're not lied to if you spend X amount of money for a loot box, which our friends have. Good on them. I've never spent a cent on a loot box. I just time, which may be worse, right? Um,
Mhm.
hey, is what it is. As far as I'm concerned, I'm probably gonna you guys play it, grind, try to get the new character. Um, will I do the battle pass? I don't know. I mean, uh, Blizzard, I'm still by like everything Blizzard did. I want to see that improvement. I want to see that follow through. There is
Mhm.
acknowledgement. I mean, of course, we've had this conversation back and forth, friends. Like, people up top, are they responsible for? They're not the same as people at the bottom, etc., etc. But
Yeah.
after that, I don't know. I'm
We'll
used
we'll
to
see.
battle passes. Yeah, exactly. So, what about you? What you partake in this battle pass? You think it's a good step in the right direction?
I mean, I think if they're going with the free to play model, it's the no brainer option. Like any free to play game that doesn't have, I feel like it doesn't have a battle pass of some kind is kind of not doomed to fail, but it's not going to be as long lasting as I think they would hope they would be. Um, but yeah, like we'll have to see because I feel like this first season is probably going to be the learning process to see like what works and what doesn't work, and knowing the team that did Overwatch, how much they try to like do their best to kind of like listen to the fan base and try to fix things when they weren't working. I'm sure they're going to listen to how they react to the season 1 battle pass, and then hopefully they'll take some notes and maybe improve season 2 when that comes out. But yeah, at this point it's just kind of like we're just gonna have to wait and see. It's just gonna Once
Those
October
are,
rolls around, it's just gonna be what it is.
I believe it's already here. It only took 6 years.
Yeah. I mean, like understandably there's a lot of shit going on that we only recently got to
Mhm,
find out what was going on. So
mhm.
um Xbox take control soon. Phil Spencer, we need your help. All right. So that was Overwatch 2. We'll probably talk about it more again in the future.
Oh, yes, you
Probably.
will.
Um so like I said before, we did the Ubisoft forward live stream this past weekend. For people that didn't join us and watch it, I believe it is still on our Twitch channel. If you want to go take a look at it. But I felt like we could probably go just a little bit into detail about what we saw.
Keeper,
Um,
keeper.
the main presentation was all right. I mean, they had some games. They showed off Mario and Rabbids. They showed off their Just
That was
Dances.
what Brian wanted to see the most
Oh
was
man.
rabbits.
Oh yeah. Just love to just imagine punting him off the fucking level.
If you want a fucking reason to really watch it, watch Brian's face, the disdain for rabbits. Check it out. Anyway, keep going. Keep going. It's just she's like just the first announcement, like it's gonna be rabbits, Brian. He's just like, oh fuck. And then
It didn't happen. Joel summoned it from the fucking pits of hell.
rabbits, yes.
Dragged Mario with it. I know it's a good game. I just don't like rabbits. They had a video of what was it? Skull and Bones. That game's coming out soon, and somebody said that they released the gameplay trailer, and we tried to find it, and apparently still it's kind of hard to find if it's actually a thing. So,
I mean, the last was we saw that first forward, right? I mean, I want to see some new stuff. They've teased this game for a while. Let's see some new stuff. Let's get hyped about it. I'm kind of under the radar right now, and it's coming out soon.
Yeah, development for this game has been a roller coaster, and they're gonna have to release it. I mean, they do have a date. It is coming up like in a month. Yeah, October, I think. It's coming soon. And they have to release it. They have to release some version of it. So hopefully it's really hard when you introduce this game saying that it was inspired by Black Flag, one of the most popular Assassin's Creed games, because of the sailing and the ship combat in Assassin's Creed, Black Flag. So it's just like you're setting a very high bar, and news hasn't been great. So I'm on the same page. I want to hope for the best, and I want to have some fun pirate action. Because as much as fun as Sea of Thieves is, there's always room for more. So I'm hoping that it doesn't fail.
Crossover, please. Come on.
Yeah. Of course, though, the biggest part of that presentation was the Assassin's Creed 15th anniversary showcase, which, holy shit, they put out a lot of information about a lot of projects that are coming down. We knew it was coming, but they started off with the reveal trailer for Assassin's Creed Mirage, and it looked fucking great.
Oh.
So is pretty much confirmed that the main character is Basim from Valhalla, and it's going to show his start of like his training to become an assassin master, and it's going to be set in Baghdad, 20 years before Valhalla. So it's going to be a really like cool, like it's pretty much like the old, like I forget the like correct name for it, but it's like basically like the first like tech boom in Baghdad. So it's going to be like very like, it's going to be a lot of like culture in it. There's going to be a lot of like of its time period, like technology, like booming in that area. And of course, you're going to get some like cool, kind of like shout outs to what is to come from the original game. Of course, it's going to be, they're bringing it back to the original style of gameplay where it's more focused on like stealth, assassinations, and parkour. And it's going to be a smaller, tight knit game compared to the more recent Assassin's Creed games. So, you know, not having played Valhalla aside, Joel, what's your hype level for Mirage?
Just that it's a callback to the originals. That's great. Hopefully, it's more fluid. I like that there was a set difficulty. I didn't play and enjoy Origins. I like that RPG system they did, and I didn't play Odyssey, but it's on Game Pass, so I'm probably going to check it out. That they went hard on the RPG elements that were in Origins and in Valhalla, the same thing, but apparently they tuned it back for Valhalla. But I'm very excited. I loved 1, 2, 3, all of those versions. The set difficulty and the fluid parkour and all that. It was fun, and to hear that they're doing a return, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Excited.
Yeah, me too. as much fun as I had with like the more recent games, like Odyssey and Valhalla, I've said it a lot. I've said it before on this podcast, but I yearn for like the more traditional Assassin's Creed style games, and so hearing that they're going to be doing that and it's going to be a character focused game, I'm super fucking excited. I actually already pre-ordered the collector's edition. I'm that excited
Oh,
about it. Um,
damn.
I'm a sucker for steelbooks, dude. I've said it before. I'm a sucker. Um, but yeah. But that wasn't all they announced. They did
Hmm.
announce that they are kind of going. They're gonna be making some mobile games. They announced Assassin's Creed Project Jade. It's gonna be a fully fledged like Assassin's Creed game for mobile, set in China. Um, I I have mixed feelings. I'm not too much of a mobile gamer. Um, and it's just I feel kind of sad that a location like China is still being relegated to the I don't want to say like minor games because I don't want to be disrespectful for the people that work on it because from what we saw from the trailer it does like for a mobile game it looks decent. you know it doesn't look like shit. It looks like a mobile game but it's like a high budget mobile game. um but it's like this like timeline and area has just been relegated to side games, and it would have been nice if we were able to do this in like a full-fledged game location. As far as I know, they said that you're going to be able to customize your own character.
Did say
So there
that.
so there isn't so it makes me question what the story is going to be if it's just based off of a random character that you create. Maybe it just works out for the gameplay that they're going to make. Yeah, I don't know. Joel, do you have any feelings towards this game? Like, I know you're not much of a mobile game player either. Would this intrigue you to play or try?
It's pretty interesting, but yeah, especially for Assassin's Creed, it's like I'd rather play it on console, be fully immersed. But
Mhm.
not to say that I probably, I'll check it out. For me, I think that personally, it's kind of cool that you can create your own character. But again, like narratively, how does that fit in? And again, it did look pretty good for a mobile game. I gotta say, with that, Rainbow Siege and even the Division, I'm just surprised how far
Oh
phones
yeah,
have come.
that's
As far
right.
as games go, I'm like fairly surprised. I mean, I don't mobile games, so for me, I'm like, wow. Before it used to be like, my phone can barely handle fucking like Jedi RPG game. It's like, oh fuck, it can do a fucking multiplayer, PvP session in the Division. Oh fuck, By now, I mean, shit. I travel overseas next year. Shit, maybe I'll be playing that for hours. Who knows? But
Maybe.
we'll see. I mean, looks pretty clean as far as phones go.
Yeah. Um and of course we mentioned this before, they are partnering with Netflix to do a live action series and a exclusive mobile game for Netflix. They didn't say exactly what it is or like what the idea is. Um Joel, let's play some hypotheticals. As far as the live action series, what would you like them to do? Is there anything that jumps out to you as like, oh, I would like to see that live action?
Honestly, if we're gonna do live action Assassin's Creed, go where we haven't been. The
Hmm.
games have already touched everything we have seen, and they've done a great job. There's debate about some of the games, but let's go to places we haven't been, fill in those places. Or if we do go, I want to see them older or younger. Like I want to see old
Oh,
man
okay.
Connor. I want to see,
Ooh,
Old
yeah,
man Evie and her brother. I forgot the name of. I want to see,
Jacob.
you know, I want to see like Ezio before he's fucking hella old. And we, I, I really want to see now that I locked here. I
Hmm.
want to see Connor Arno and Shay. That's what I want. I want the triple threat. They're all alive at the same time.
Oh,
Let's fucking go. Come on, Ubisoft. Let's
oh.
go. Let's fucking go.
You know what? Throw in some Annabelle and fuck yeah, let's do it.
But
Dude,
yeah,
I am down. Like, just do like a fucking like Revolution era fucking live action show. Dude.
I mean, I would even love like even if like let's say they go into Animus and it's like someone else has been before. Even we get like 30 seconds of like there was this other guy and it shows like live action Bayek like kicking ass. It's like dope, and then it
Hell
goes back
yeah.
to the main character. I don't want to see 50 minutes of Desmond and 10 minutes of Ezio. I don't want to see that. I'll tell you that right now. I don't want that. But I
Yeah.
mean, for pilot, that makes sense. But I would appreciate. I love 3, but the ending kind of gave you this illusion of choice what they chose for you, and I think maybe that's the point, right? That further and did more things. Like even if they break their own canon, I'm kind of okay with that if done well. I gotta say, if done well. But
Mhm.
yeah, let's
Yeah.
see what happens to some of these characters. Let's we kind of touched upon a little bit of the past, and we've gone very far in the past. Let's bring it to our time too. Let's see forward to let's go a little closer. What about you, Brian?
Dude.
What do you want to see? What is
Dude,
calling to you?
you put that idea in my head. I just want to see it because I have always been a proponent of I want more Connor. Like we got like people's opinions are all different. I personally really like 3. I thought it kind of sucked that we didn't get anything more than that, at least from a Connor in that perspective. So I would really love to see more. It would be really cool to see like a Grandmaster Shay, because like we've seen what he's like when he's older, but we don't know like exactly like where his end was. So like how far up in the ranks did he get? Did he like was he like a high ranking like Templar? Did he become a Grandmaster at some point? Especially when Hatham died. Hatham died, there was no Grandmaster, and Shay was pretty much one of the only ones out of that group that's still fucking alive. So
Yeah, right.
dude, I would love that. And then have have an old Connor like meet up with Arno. Shit. Dude, you got me hyped up for something that we're not getting. I already know this. Um um but I kind of agree. It'd be in their best interest to focus on something brand new. That was the one thing they did right with the movie, was that they focused on something new. But I do agree. I hope they learn from their mistakes and we don't get 80% modern day and 20% Animus action. I think they need to do a better balance than that.
Dude, I would even love them to go back into the movie and fuck it up. Like Aguilar, you're a piece of shit. Like I want them to acknowledge it. And Aguilar's like, no, I'm not a piece of shit. It was these people, and like they like make it better. Like they lift it up. They pull like a Mandalorian. They kind of elevate the prequels and the sequels a little. Let's go. Come on, let's do it.
I mean, the movie is canon to an extent. So maybe I think it would be neat though if they did like little like flashes of like video game characters, like maybe not have them be the focus, but like there'll be instances where like the main character of this show like looks through some data about some of Desmond's experiences in the Animus, or some of the data they've collected through the more recent iterations of the game characters. But yeah, I want something. I agree. I want something new. I want to go to a place we've never been before, or if that's the case, like have it be someplace that's kind of familiar, but like in a different area, different region. Um, but yeah, I'm not gonna have my hopes set high. I'm gonna be cautiously optimistic.
You more than
Hoping
me.
that like hoping that Ubisoft has learned from their past outing trying to make a live action property. And I mean, Assassin's Creed at this point is their fucking bread and butter, so I think they know that they need to be careful with it, especially nowadays, with a lot of the tension that the fan base has over certain decisions. But yeah, that we won't know anything about until probably like the next big like Netflix day thing. And then we got information about the two next big games coming out of that. We got Assassin's Creed Project Red, which is they're finally doing it. They're going to feudal Japan. We are finally going to live our Shinobi dreams.
Hell yeah.
They said that this is going to be their next big game, more along the lines of the current game, so it's going to be the big RPG kind of look. We only got like a very small like teaser, like they didn't really show us anything of substance. It was just kind of like a kind of tone setter for what we can expect, maybe. And they even told us another project, which is called Project Hexe, which people have deduced that this might be the witch hunts in Germany back in the day, like in the 1700s, I believe. I think it's 1700s. I could be wrong. I'm not a history buff. Don't at me. But yeah, the witch trials, which got fucking insane in Germany. So that could be interesting. And they said it's going to be a completely different style of game than what they made before. So who knows what that means?
Just gotta say, they've done, at least from Origins, and when I've seen a little bit of the other ones, I love their take on the mystical shit. And Hexa seems definitely up that alley, so I'm definitely looking forward to that more than I thought I would. So I love, like, in Origins, if you haven't played, little mild spoiler, you fight some Egyptian gods, and they're cool. They
good.
do it well. I think so. I mean, I'm not Egyptian though. I don't know if it might be some appropriative stuff, but game wise, it was pretty cool. So I really hope they lead into that. Still, even in the future. Just wanted to say that.
And what are your thoughts of them finally going to Japan?
Oh, fucking time. Been asking for that shit for years. But want it done well. I don't want it rushed.
No.
Been a fan long enough to fucking see that's what's been stopping me, man. I've been like, I'll wait, I guess. Like
it's like I'll wait for it to be guaranteed good enough.
Wait, like what I did with Unity, I'll wait a year until you guys are done. It was not buggy when I played. There was like one bug. It wasn't even game breaking. It was like a guy stuck in a tree sitting like in a horse or something. It was, the usual game glitches in an open world. Same thing with Syndicate, good game, but I was like, I can wait. So
yeah. So
don't age of rushing games. Rushing games. It should not be a thing. Like I get it, crunch and numbers and all that shit, but like it's just obvious the quality of a game is so much better when it takes time. I mean, I always compare it to the fucking gameplay now, but Destiny, like, look at Witch Queen. They're like, we need more time.
Good.
Fucking good decision. Sure. Yeah, it came out amazing.
Give me more time to complete my battle pass. Thank you.
Yeah, like just you want your product to really be well, don't rush it out. Same for movies. Like, I don't know who needs to hear it. Like, it probably won't get to like the higher ups, so just like take your time to make it good,
For sure. Like they have no announcement of like they said that those games are like very early in development. They haven't even really started on like the heavy lifting yet. So like, take as much time as you need. And their final announcement, they finally showed off what the idea for Assassin's Creed Infinite's gonna be. And pretty much it's what the reports have been saying. It's going to be a hub for future Assassin's Creed games. And they said starting with Project Red and Project Hexe are going to be within the Assassin's Creed hub, which they've kind of stylized and like kind of showed off as like being like your own personal animus, where you're able to just launch into the hub and like pick a game to play, like depending on like if it's going to be like a service or like you're just going to pay for the game and just have a launcher for it for everything. Who knows? The cool news, it's kind of news that I wasn't expecting, is that they said they're actually looking into the possibility of having standalone multiplayer. Um, yes, please. I a few months ago, I hopped back into Assassin's Creed 4 multiplayer, and there's still people playing it. It was a lot of fun.
Kicking his ass. Go watch that stream.
Yeah, I was getting my ass kicked a lot. But like having the possibility of that coming back and being standalone and like being able to update through the games and stuff, that would be sick. That'd be cool. I would thoroughly enjoy that. I think a lot of fans of the multiplayer would be very excited too. Um, like they said that they're looking into it. I'm sure that they were just saying that to see if anybody got hyped about it. So I think it's gonna be a thing, you know. Whether if they want to change some things or not, or just make something completely different is up to them. But yeah, a lot of cool Assassin's Creed news. Coming from two fans of the series, you know, we had a good time for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely you more than me, but still, good story, good gameplay. Let's keep that train going.
Yeah, yeah. So I know this like this is going to be a very game heavy podcast. You know, so bear with us. But that was this past week. Now let's talk about we're gonna try to get through this quick. I know we're going a little long. We're gonna try to get through this. This week though is a killer because we had a Nintendo Direct this week, a Sony State of Play, and just today started the Tokyo Game Show. So we got even more game announcements this week. Nintendo Direct wasn't as strong this time. A lot of people like to call it the Nintendo Direct Farming Simulator Edition because there was a lot of farming simulators for some strange reason.
Animal Crossing hype probably like
It's hey,
into their brain.
all those farmers out there, you know, congratulations, you have the fucking mother lode this time. Good on you. Uh, but we did get some different announcements in the Nintendo Direct. They announced that a Octopath Traveler 2 is coming out, a sequel to Octopath Traveler. Game still looks cool. They have that cool 2D, 3D art pixel animation. Looks fucking beautiful. It's fully voice acted again. The same idea is like you have the 8 different main characters that you play through their campaign, and then slowly they just kind of like meet together and have a big ass adventure. Looks really cool. They announced I don't know if it was, they said it was a remake. It looks like a remake of Kirby Return to Dreamland coming out next year for the 30th anniversary of Kirby, which is really cool. And not only did they redo the art for the game, they're kind of doing some superstar stuff. They're adding some mini games to it, and they added a new power. Joel, you'll like this one. They're adding a new copy ability, the mecha ability.
Hell yeah.
Basically Kirby turns into like a custom robo Kirby, and
What?
has like
Custom robo
and like fucking has like laser cannons and like missile packs and jet packs and stuff like that. It looks really fucking dope. Kind of reminds me of
robo in years.
kind of like it kind of reminds me of Planet Robo. So I thought that was so I'm a big Kirby fan, so I feel like I'm getting spoiled because we got Forgotten Lands. We just got Dream Buffet. I think that's what it's called, the little mini game. And then we're getting a game next year. So Kirby is fucking living large right now. They showed off a little bit of. They showed off gameplay for Bayonetta 3. It looks very good. I still have to play through that series. I am, I am running behind on that. Comes out next. It comes out October 29th, so just before Halloween. So that game looks fucking cool. It's Bayonetta's a really good character action game. Um, you know, I feel like it's gonna be good. I'm gonna try to get through 1 and 2 before then. Let's see. And I guess like the last like very big announcement was that they finally revealed the name and the release date for the Breath of the Wild 2, now known as
That's
Tears
right.
of the Kingdom, which
Hell yeah.
before, when you read the announcement that they were canceling their live stream in the UK, for Mourning of the Queen, you can figure out why they did that with the title of Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Ireland probably would have loved it.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that the release date, it's coming out hopefully, barring any delays, is scheduled for May 12th next year.
Damn.
So we're gonna get some more of that. The game looks cool. Breath of the Wild 1 or Breath of the Wild was fucking fantastic, and there's just gonna be more of that plus, the sky. So
That
and
game was amazing.
and probably we're getting Ganondorf too. So sweet, fuck it.
And
So yeah, we got that. Oh, that's right. They announced Pikmin 4. They're making a Pikmin 4.
have that on my bingo card.
No, I didn't either. I didn't expect that at all. It was kind of weird too because Shigeru Miyamoto came on and was like, "Hey, last year we released Pikmin Bloom, or like earlier this year we released Pikmin Bloom. Let me tell you about it." And it's like, thank you, Miyamoto-san, but we know about Pikmin Bloom. Anybody that's playing it right now knows about it. Where are you going with this? And it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we're making Pikmin 4. And it's like, what the? Okay, sure. All right.
Pick up Bloom before.
So yeah, that was pretty much Nintendo news. The Sony State of Play had some news. Of course, they showed off God of War Ragnarok. They're making a special controller for it. They showed off.
Fuck.
They showed off a trailer for it. It looks pretty sick. I finally started playing through the first one, so I'm getting ready.
Dude. Such a good fucking game.
Ragnarok is still coming on PS4, Joel, so you'll still be able to play it.
Fuck yeah. Never mind. I don't need to buy a PS5. Yeah, I do for Spider-Man.
Us people that don't have PS5s can play it still, so we're in luck.
Spider-Man 2 goes for PS4. I'm solid.
No, they already said that's going for PS5 only.
Fuck.
Unfortunately.
That and Survivor.
Yeah. They showed up some other games. I'm having a hard time remembering because they kicked off the State of Play with the one announcement I cared about, and they started off with the reveal trailer for fucking Tekken 8, and oh, it looks fucking good. Oh, it just like they had Jin and Kazuya on the fucking mountains, father and son about to fucking whip each other's asses, and fucking gorgeous Unreal 5 graphics. Looks fucking beautiful. The entire trailer was done in game. It wasn't pre-rendered. And oh my god, it looks so good. I'm a big Tekken fan. I can't wait. They didn't have a release date. They just said that they're going to be talking about it more soon, hopefully at TGS this week. They might show off more. I hope so. But yeah, that's all the news I cared about from the fucking State of Play. Um, they didn't talk about the Spider-Mans or anything like that. I feel like that was still too far away. Um,
In November though. It's coming
maybe
out like next February, right?
maybe
That's
at
what?
maybe at the Game Awards, maybe. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Possibly.
Little
Um,
tease.
but yeah, fuck, dude. I'm so ready. Like Tekken 7 is a great game. It's been out for so long now. Like it's about time for a new Tekken to come out. And shit, they're they're pouring deep into it. Crossing fingers that they had rollback in mind, because that's the key. As cool as the game can look, if the online sucks, that's going to be a hinder for it. So Tekken 8,
And at you, Soul Calibur.
Tekken. Oh fuck, dude. Um, Staying on the fighting game news, today at TGS, they Capcom revealed a lot of information for Tekken 6. Or not Tekken 6, I'm sorry, Street Fighter 6. My apologies. Street Fighter 6 got a lot of info dumping today. Um,
Oh yeah.
so humor me while I take you on the tour. So they
Back
revealed
5 minutes.
they revealed 4 new characters. They revealed Ken, E Honda, Dalsim, and Blanca, all looking really cool. Ken looks fucking dope. His gameplay style looks great. Blanca is funny. Joel, I don't know how familiar you are with Street Fighter lore.
Not at all.
But currently Blanca has become a tour guide in the Amazon, and
That's
he
funny.
sells these little plushies called Blanca Chan.
That's funny.
And in Tekken 6, they've incorporated Blanca Chan into his moveset, where Blanca will take a doll, electrify it, and throw it as a fucking like projectile weapon. And
Tekken 6?
or Street Fighter 6. I'm
Okay, I know
sorry.
what you're talking.
I'm
I know.
sorry. I love Tekken. Like Street Fighter's cool, but I was a
You
Tekken
can't
kid.
even like escape it.
I
Try to
can't
talk
escape
about
it.
Street Fighter.
Dude, I just see Jin and Kazuya in my fucking mind, dude. It's in my mind's eye, just like fucking the devil gene.
Cool. I'm glad they're making Blanca a little softer and more fun throwing projectiles.
Yeah. Um but yeah, they revealed a lot of other shit. They revealed their story campaign mode and the battle hub. For the first time ever, you're going to be able to create your own character in Street
Remember
Fighter.
that.
They showed that off. You're going to be able to create your own character, and you're going to travel the world meeting the all characters from the Street Fighter series, and you get to learn from them. And then of course you'll be able to wander the streets picking battles with other randomly generated characters, and just kind of like level up your fighter and learn some sick ass moves. um and then you could take your characters to the battle hub, which is pretty much their online kind of like hub world, which is very interesting.
World.
So check this out, Joel. um
That's a lot like
in
Soul Calibur story. All right, keep going now.
in in the battle hub, that's where you're gonna be doing like your online matchmaking. And in the hub, you're gonna be able to see other people's players roaming around the area. You'll be able to find battles like casual and ranked. They announce other game modes. You're gonna be able to sit down in an arcade cabinet and play an old Street Fighter game that
That's funny.
will be on rotation. So they showed off Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and you'll be able to play it. Like your character will sit down at a cabinet, and you will be able to play the game in Street Fighter 6. And then like every few months they'll rotate it with like another classic game, which is a cool idea. It's not the first time um like other games have done this. Like Yakuza has had Virtual Fighter
Mhm.
like in their games that you could play fully. So it's gonna be cool. I'm not exactly sure if you're going to be able to play multiplayer with those too, because with the collections that they come out with recently, they've added online multiplayer for those. So maybe you'll also be able to play that on there as well. Um, they've what was that?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, just because your mic cut out while you were talking. I just wanted.
Ah! Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, you'll be able to have tournaments within the hub, and like they have this big ass fucking screen that makes it kind of like feel like you're in like an actual like live like Evo tournament, which is really cool. And yeah, it looks pretty sick. Like Street Fighter 6 looks like they're shooting for the moon. You know, like Street Fighter 5 ended up becoming like a very like decent game, but it had a really rough start. Um, Everything they've been doing right now, people have been loving. So hopefully, the team they have now is doing great work, and they announced a closed beta for October, which you can sign up now already. I already did. Um, they're going to have that crossplay, which is going to be great. Unfortunately, it's only for the current consoles, so Xbox Series, systems, PS5, and Steam. So Xbox One and PS4 are unfortunately being left out. But that's we're coming in on like our second year of the new consoles being out, so like
Mm,
we're starting to see that slow phasing out of the old consoles. So
yeah.
it's gonna happen eventually. But yeah, dude. I haven't actually been this excited about a Street Fighter game in a long time. The last time I really played Street Fighter was Street Fighter 4. Um, and that was like on my 3DS too. And I was like, that was a weird time.
And
um, so yeah, that was cool. Some other news that might excite you, Joel. We got some Game Pass announcements today.
good.
You mentioned one already. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is coming to Game Pass.
Yep.
Some cool shit is coming as well. We're getting Persona 5 in October.
Nice.
For fighting game fans, we're getting Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle early next year. They announced that Guilty Gear Strive, the newest Guilty Gear game, is coming to Game Pass next year, which I'm psyched about because I've been wanting to try a Guilty Gear game for forever. So this is the perfect time for me to get into it.
Mm.
Um, and I think the coolest one that comes out like literally in 5 days, they're putting Deathloop on Game
Did
Pass.
see that. I saw that announcement today.
Yeah, so the makers of basically from the makers of Dishonored, um looked like a really great game. I've only heard really good things about it. So Xbox players are finally going to get to play it, and that's going to be great.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, they had some. As far as that goes, they had the Overwatch stuff. They showed off a little bit more Resident Evil 4 remake, which looks cool. I myself, Joel, have you ever played any of the Resident Evil games?
Fuck no, I was too scared.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen like friends in high school play like Resident Evil 4, but I've never really been into them too much. But people have been asking for 4 remake ever since they made remake for 2.
Mhm.
So now they're getting it. It's looking pretty. It's looking pretty. Like the other Resident Evil games have been recently. So that's cool. Um, and of course, this is only day one, so we're probably going to get way more announcements in the next coming days, and I'm sure we'll
Mhm.
talk about them later. Um, but I feel like we've talked enough about games. um,
Yeah. Games.
um, so Joel, is there anything you've been watching recently?
Well, I've just been watching She-Hulk. New
Yeah,
episode today, by the way. So I'm gonna watch that later after this, probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like not like going deep into it because I'm sure that once the season's done, we're gonna go deep diving into it. But
Oh, yeah.
how do you feel about She-Hulk so far?
I say this every time. Talk shit about Marvel. They pump out something new. I love it. So good. Very much geared towards adults and really well done. All the hate I see for it is not good, not valid. I don't see really good points. I see some like animation stuff. Yeah, I get that, I guess. But other than that, doing pretty strong, pretty meta. I complained so far. What do you think, Brian?
Oh, I'm loving it. I'm totally down with this like comedy style, dude. Like it having me been like laughing pretty much every episode, and I like I don't know. It's just I feel like they really got the fourth wall breaking timing down really well. Um, and it's kind of funny because the past 3 episodes they've really like beaten like Twitter the punch, just like
Okay.
by calling them out, and I think like they knew it was coming, and so they prepared
Yeah.
themselves to like burn fucking
Yeah.
people. It's good. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I've also seen some of the backlash from certain groups on the internet, and you kind of have to just like look at them and like it's like well, it's your opinion, that's fine, it whatever. I'm just gonna watch this and like have fun with it, you know.
Everything in Phase 4 is trash. Get the fuck out of here.
But yeah, that's been really fun. Is there anything else that's been catching your eye, or is there anything coming up that you're hoping to see?
Marcelo recommended me the show called This Fool. It's about follows this guy who's following his cousin come out of prison. It's like this Latin American folks, and it's hella funny. It has some stereotypes and tropes. They flip on its head, and it's funny. It's like the guy. I just want to give it a little context. The guy gets out of prison since 2005, so he's been talking in a certain way, dressing, thinking like he's in 2005, which has been making me fucking laugh. And there's an episode I just saw where there's a gang fight, and all the gang members are all dead or they moved on. So it's just like the climax is hella stupid and funny, and I was laughing. And like he's trying to like, I'm gonna get my homies for the fight, and it's like one of the reasons like I can't go, and what they have like the little like cycle they're showing him visiting other people like montage, and it's like one of the reasons was won the lottery, can't join the fight. That shit made me hella laugh.
Oh
Okay,
wow,
so
okay.
it's like sorry, can't king fight, I'm rich now. It's like yeah, checking that out. I know Marcelo and Brian Felcher gonna be mad at me. Still haven't watched House of Dragon. Still haven't watched Sandman.
Dude.
Haven't gotten to it, but I will say started Primal season 2, and if you haven't watched
Oh,
Primal
I
by
have
Jenny
not.
Tartakovsky, you need to check that shit out. You too, Brian. It's
Okay.
he made Dexter's Lab, he made Powerpuff Girls. It's
Samurai Jack.
it's really good. It's in the name. I gotta say, if you want to watch something raw, well animated, not even a lot of dialogue, but really good animation, check out Primal. And season 2 is, I mean, I'm barely in it. Really, really good. So
Okay.
season 1 was, oh man, I was talking about it with my buddy Justice not so long ago, but there's this episode with this dinosaur, and that's it. That's all I can say. Like
It's an
it's like
episode of the
holy
dinosaur.
fuck. It's literally, if I say any more, it's gonna spoil it. Like
Okay.
it's like
Okay.
you gotta watch it. Check out Primal. It's short, sweet, and they're on, season 2 I believe is wrapping tomorrow, so we're gonna catch up on it.
Oh.
So other than that, still not watching Wings of Power. I'm gonna get on that too. We're gonna binge that at some point.
Oh.
Shit, man.
But
What about you, Brian? What you been watching?
well,
What were you gonna say
I did see the first 2 episodes of House of the Dragon.
though? Yeah.
Bruh. getting those early Game of Thrones vibes, dude.
Heard it's
It
good. I've only heard
it
good
was a
things. I'm not
banger.
avoiding it. I'm just like just haven't gotten to it. You know.
So far, it's been a very interesting watch. Yeah, I watched the first 2 hours at PAX. It was a lot of fun, dude. I think if you had enjoyment from like early days of Game of Thrones, I feel like this is gonna be right up your alley.
I did. And hey, there's people of color in it too, which seems to be upsetting for some reason. But hey, I'm glad they're there. I'm sure they're gonna find a way to kill them off soon because they're not in the future. But we'll see. Or maybe they go to an alien world. I don't know. But I've heard amazing things about the show.
Oh yeah.
Oops.
But yeah, as far as that, haven't like watched too much recently. I did did I talk about did I watch Buzz Lightyear finally?
I think we did talk about that last time.
Okay.
if I
I
remember
saw
correctly.
I finally got my Blu-ray of it because I liked it so much I bought the Blu-ray.
Nice. Did you watch it again on your Blu-ray?
Steelbook. No.
This,
I yeah, but I enjoyed Buzz Lightyear. You know, I know like it wasn't a lot of people's cup of tea, but you know, the Toy Story fan in me really enjoyed it, and I was able to point out a lot of like the little callbacks to the Toy Story series, and it was fun. Besides that, you know, I had the D23 stuff come out.
Oh, dude. I wonder if we were going to touch that or on the after show, but we're going to go in it a little bit.
I think we can finish off this podcast with this because you know there's a lot of fun things to talk about, and
So much
I
news.
feel like we need to talk about on like podcast Prime.
Podcast Prime.
Okay, so I actually want to throw it to you, Joel. What were some of the big announcements that you saw from D23 that got you really hyped?
Well, of course, Mandalorian season 3 teaser looked good. I mean, you know me, I'm all about those guys in those bucket helmets. It looked really good. Really excited for that. Finally announced Batch season 2. Been waiting for that shit forever. Next year, unfortunately, but hey, whatever. Take your time. I absolutely love season 1. So, cool. We got more news about Skeleton Crew. We even got a still Skeleton Crew, so that's cool.
Oh yeah.
The new Star Wars project. I'm also flipping through this stuff. What am I forgetting? Oh, fucking Secret Invasion. We got a trailer for that. That really hyped me up.
Dude,
That looks.
yeah.
If you don't want to hear about the Secret Invasion trailer, I know one of my friends listens to it. You got to pause yourself for about 10 seconds. I'll time myself. All right. Anyways, Secret Invasion, go. Trailer looks dope. Looks like a great spy thriller. This is what I wanted out of it. I'm excited. Good to see Nick Fury back in action. All right, there you go. Oh, and Amelia Clark too. But yeah, that looks dope.
That's right.
Those things got me really hyped. That's what I was looking for. There were some other announcements that I was curious about.
Joel,
Brian?
While we're still on the subject, just to remind you about Tales of the Jedi.
That's what I was going to get to next.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm really curious and surprised. I thought Tales of the Jedi was going to be an anthology, kind of like one-offs, but it actually looks like a mini series really quick. And I mean, at least from first glance, right? Going in between, we see a young Dooku, which is really
I'm so excited, dude. I listened to the audiobook of the Dooku book that kind of chronicled his life during the Jedi Order, and dude, like I hope that they get into some of the stuff that was in the book in animated form because it's gonna be fucking cool to see.
Well, we
We get
saw
to see
part of that. Yeah.
We saw a young Qui-Gon Jinn too, Padawan Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah. Getting fucked up by Dooku. That was great. Will say I haven't read the Ahsoka books yet, just haven't gotten to it. We see an Inquisitor, apparently a different Inquisitor, which is really curious from the books too.
So what's interesting is that they've kind of already veered off of the book a little bit, just like with Rebels and other uh content from that, they've been able to take stuff from that book, kind of like what they're gonna do with this. But it's very interesting because that's not exactly the same Inquisitor. He's very different looking, but I'm here for it because he looks badass.
He does. I'm getting Darth Nihilus vibes for those who played Coder too, and he was a
Yeah.
bad motherfucker. What else was I gonna say? I know I kind of detracted off Star Wars, but it was really interesting to see they are going forward with Thunderbolts. They had that
Yeah.
poster and that team. That's an interesting team. I'm super curious about what they're gonna do with that. I
Shout
wait.
out, shout out to them not just giving up on Taskmaster.
Yeah. I know people are shitting on Taskmaster. Not my Taskmaster. Get the fuck out of here. All three of you mad at the fucking
Like
new version of Taskmaster.
it's a
Get
very
outta here.
different Taskmaster than what we had in like the comics, but
Yeah.
we only got to see like such a tiny amount of Taskmaster in the Black Widow
5
movie.
minutes or 10 minutes.
So I feel like they know that was kind of like an issue, and so with Thunderbolts, hopefully they're gonna like flesh out their version of Taskmaster a lot more.
Yeah. And Ghost, Red Guardian, Winter Soldier,
Ghost too,
Black
dude.
Widow, and US Agent. Like, bruh, that
Red
is a
Guardian.
dysfunctional fucking team, and I am here for it. Like, let's see
And
them.
Bucky's gonna have to
butt
fucking
heads.
learn to manage it.
Right, and of course Captain America New World Order. I'm super surprised. They apparently, if you don't want a spoiler, I want to say really quick that apparently the villain is going to be the leader. That's really interesting.
Oh,
I wasn't
really?
expecting that. Yeah, apparently.
I didn't know this.
Right? I don't know if it's true.
Ooh.
That's the rumor. So I was expecting Zemo or Red Skull coming back. No, it's the fucking leader, which is really interesting. And
I
it's
mean,
going to
that's
be the guy who was transforming in the original Hulk movie. That's crazy. They brought him all the way back.
wow.
Yeah, it's the same actor too, which is great.
Oh,
As far as Marvel news, I mean, there's so many good, exciting. Oh, two more things, and then I'm gonna let you take over, Brian, because I just want to say, Loki season 2, bringing in apparently Kei Hui Han. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I'm butchering his name, but the guy who is of course Short Round in Indiana Jones, the other lead in Everything
yeah.
Everywhere at Once. He fucking killed it in Everything Everywhere at Once, and the fact he's in Loki season 2, I'm so excited. Even if he's only in an episode, that's awesome. Good to
Dude, I
see
want to
him back. And
mention
of course,
this.
Loki season 2, but
I want to mention this actually real quick. Did you see the photo of him and Harrison Ford reuniting?
Kei Hui Kwan, my bad, y'all.
Kei
Yeah,
Hui
that
Kwan.
was a great picture, by the way.
I've
seeing
never
Kwan and Ford together.
I've
Old.
never seen Harrison Ford so genuinely happy in my life. Like
He's never happy about
he
Star
was
Wars, I'll tell you
beaming
that.
in that picture, and it was so sweet to see. I don't know how
It was-
often they were able to see each other after that movie, so like seeing them like reunite and just being so happy is like, my Disney heart.
Apparently for Mr. Kwan, it's been really hard for him. Post Goonies and Indiana Jones. So
I mean, I
fact
can
that
imagine like you're being
he's
typecasted as like Short Round for
Yeah.
so many years.
Yeah, Asian guy with an accent during the 80s. Oof, rough. But
Yeah.
dude, Everything Everywhere All at Once, put him back on. And it's a fun. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it. And you need to go see it. But check that movie out. But yeah, and of course, I know there's been some discourse about this, but Werewolf by Night, they're going forward with it.
Oh yeah.
Around Halloween time. And you know what? It looks bad on purpose, and that's the whole point. It looks like an old horror movie. And
It's like a creature feature.
too. It's looking kind of like a little I'm gonna kind of plug myself here. And then there were none a little. Like it looks like people are going in to kind of figure something out, and they're dying off one by one. So at least by the synopsis. But of course, the actors and actresses in it are gonna be dope. And of course, if you know your Moon Knight lore, first appearance of Moon Knight was in Werewolf by Night. So people are putting it together. We better have that fight, Werewolf and Moon Knight. So
I mean, maybe.
See, but yeah,
Or maybe we'll get, maybe get some, maybe a secret sneak of Blade. Maybe get some Howling Commandos going on there.
Yeah, of course. Gail Garcia Bernal. He's in it, and if you don't know, he's a really good looking guy. Apart from that, good actor, really good. So him and Diego Luna are really good friends. So it's like, hey, I got connections with Disney. I'm pretty sure that's how that conversation went.
It's just like Marvel and Star Wars is just gonna fucking share actors, and it's gonna be fine because they're all good actors.
Oh, and finally, they're fucking doing something about Armor Wars. I've been wanting to see Rhodey do shit, like actually get in the suit. If it's him and Ironheart having fun blowing shit up cool, like that's needing that.
Speaking of, it was really cool to see that Rhodey's gonna be in Secret Invasion.
He better put on the suit and fuck up some scrolls or whatever. I want to see that.
What if
shit.
he is a scroll?
I hope so. I want to listen. When it comes to Secret Invasion, they fucking better go out. I want to see, like, there are rumors that Killmonger is like back as a scroll. I want to see those characters who are dead
Ooh.
come back and be like, I'm not dead, or was I dead? Was I a scroll? Like that's what we should see. And if we get played like 3 times, we're like, oh shit, who's the real one? I'm set. It's already 10 out of 10. If it's any more than that, fucking S rank, as far as Secret Invasion goes. I want them to throw us for a loop like as many times as they can and throw it in our face.
Oh fuck. It's gonna be so dope.
It should be like that, like a good spy throw. All right, Brian, what got you hyped at D23? What sent you?
So for me, like I was totally going into like, you know me, I'm a parks person. So I was totally waiting for all of the like Disney parks announcements. And they're interesting. A lot of Disney park fans were, or at least should I say Disneyland fans were kind of disappointed. I came into this knowing that there wasn't going to be a lot for Disneyland, so my expectations were tempered, but I was still intrigued. I always like seeing what they're planning, what they're thinking of. So they showed off. They actually at the convention they had a little scale model of the redo of Splash Mountain, what is going to be turning into Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Heard
They're
that,
getting
yeah.
the Princess and the Frog theme, and dude, they had a skill
Okay.
model for the outside of it. It looks fucking cool. Like at first glance, it doesn't look too different. Like there's like a water tower that says like Tiana's like Bayou Adventure on it, and like there's like some like vegetation because the idea is that it's property that Tiana owns that she uses to grow like food for her restaurant and stuff like that. But they showed off what's going to look like at night, and it looks fucking beautiful. Like
Awesome.
they're doing some lighting things that are going to spruce that fucking mountain up real good. And they kind of showed off at like the peak of the fall. There's some special lighting stuff going on in there. There's like a little light emanating from like the exit of the splashdown. So that I'm waiting to see what the inside's gonna look like. They from what I've heard, they're gonna be totally updating everything, like from just the innards to like the animatronics for the ride. So that's gonna be cool, and also it's gonna be cool to see Tiana and the gang again, because from what they said, that this ride story is gonna be based off of right after the movie. So it's going to be kind of cool to see where they pick up from there in ride form. And the cast is coming back. They're going to be voicing all the characters again, and I believe I don't know if they said this or not, but I think there might be a new song in the ride, maybe.
Ooh, cool.
So that'll be cool to see. They made some announcements for California Adventure. They revealed a new ride for Avengers Campus. Because they want to kind of start expanding into the multiverse for that section of the park. They're going to make a ride. Their synopsis is: what if Thanos won Endgame?
Art for that look dope.
And they introduced the main villain for the ride. It's gonna be King Thanos.
All
And it's
that.
like fucking Thanos with like a white beard, and he has like a fucking like king crown that looks like he's like fucking Sauron from fucking Lord of the Rings. Um, but yeah, but the
Buddy to
idea,
go who loves Thanos. He's finally got
yeah,
an excuse to go to Disneyland. The
right.
idea, go for it.
But the idea is that you're going to be teaming up with all the Marvel heroes, and you're going to try to take down King Thanos. And the poster art they revealed is really cool because they're literally pulling in like all the characters, or like most of the characters, because like you saw like the MCU like heroes, and then they started adding in like the what if characters, and then they even added the animated Peter Parker for the show that hasn't come out yet.
All that, yeah.
So I was like, oh shit, what else can they add on to this ride? And
And Werewolf by Night. I saw him there
maybe.
too.
Oh yeah.
No, he's there.
Oh, he is. Oh, there's so many
Yes, yeah.
characters in that poster. It's hard to keep track.
There's like a bazillion.
But yeah, that's cool. That and they announced that I think either this week or next week they're bringing Hulk to the park, so you can do a meet and greet with Professor Hulk.
Oh, nice.
And it's kind of cool and also kind of silly because how do you make a character that's supposed to be like as big as the Hulk work? So what they did was that they gave him his endgame suit with the helmet so that he can talk but not have to articulate his mouth.
I feel like that's weird for Disney, to be honest. I expected more.
I mean, for big characters like that, it's like it's
makes
kind of
sense.
understandable. But they did show off. It's kind of funny because the Imagineers were showing off some like tech they were developing, and they're showing off some costume character tech for like big hands that can like flex their fingers and like actually like articulate their hands. And literally the next day they showed off the Hulk, and the Hulk had those like articulating hands. And so it's like, okay, cool. Like they're gonna have like some kind of like cool new like flexibility for big characters that like I don't know if you've seen pictures of like Wreck-It Ralph at the parks, but it's literally just like a guy with like hands that just fucking go like this. So at least for the Hulk, he's going to be able to like grab things, So it's for Imagineer fans, like it's pretty neat to see, even though it's kind of goofy as fuck. They are reworking the Fisherman's Wharf area in a California Adventure. They are turning it into San Francisco, the Big Hero 6.
Oh yeah. Or Big Hero 6 love.
So it's gonna be cool. They're gonna change the bridge into like their version of the Golden Gate. And they're gonna add, restaurants and shops. I think probably based around Big Hero 6, and then they announced that they're gonna have like a permanent Baymax meet and greet, which to this point has only been on special occasions, and whenever Baymax comes to the parks, the line is always super fucking long because everybody wants to meet Baymax. So people were super excited for that at the panel. Like everybody was fucking cheering, and it was great to see. As far as other things, they announced I think Paris is just about to get their Avengers campus, so they're gearing up for that. Disney World got a lot of fucking news, so I'm gonna like just bullet point them real quick. They're expanding Disney, the Magic Kingdom. So there's this program in Imagineering called the Blue Sky, like development, which is basically their like first thing they do, where it's just they think of ideas that they want to do. It's not necessarily something they're gonna do, but it's like they want to play around with it and see if they can make it work. And they decided to show us those details this year. So what they want to do is, so Joel, I don't know how you familiar are with like Disney World at all.
Nope. I just know it's in
So-
Florida, and you've been there. That's it.
I've been there once, so that's so. So in the Magic Kingdom, where their Big Thunder Mountain is, there's nothing behind it. So what they want to do is they want to expand out, And right now, their ideas is that they want like a Coco section, an Encanto section, and then
Nice.
possibly a Disney villains section. And it's like this big open area. You have like the one ideas where you have the house from Encanto that you can like walk into and like adventure around, having the portal doors and shit like that. And of course, you have the town center area from Coco, where they can have de los Muertos there and like have celebrations there, and then like the Disney villains section where you can meet all the villains and like a dark, dank, fucking looking place.
Oh yeah,
Um, the
Dankus.
the idea they threw around for the Animal Kingdom, which I'm very hoping that they can figure out, um, was that they are trying to figure out if they can do a Moana section, which I am really hoping for because I love Moana. And so, that'd be really dope. And then also they talk about some Zootopia stuff, which, people like Zootopia. It's an animal kingdom. Sure, why not? Um, but there's some more stuff, but I'm not gonna bore you guys with that kind of nerd shit. They did do a little game, going back to video games real quick. They did do an actual game presentation for Disney and Marvel. Um, some of the games are interesting. They're doing like a Mickey Mouse game, which looked pretty cute and stuff. But the cool announcement that they made is that they are making a Captain America Black Panther game.
Hell yeah.
Um, and it's going to be based in World War II, so it's not T'Challa. It's T'Challa's grandfather. That's
Nice.
gonna team up with Steve Rogers in some kind of like Hydra like battle adventure. What was that?
Oh, sounds fun.
Yeah. So that was early. That was early. There's no real like release date for it yet, but it's like, oh shit, sure. There's some rumblings that there's gonna be a Black Panther game. I don't know if this is it or if that is coming later, but like Captain America and Black Panther, that's gonna be kind of sick. See what they can do with that. Um, but yeah, the um, they did announce a Mufasa movie. Um,
Yeah,
it's in
I'm flabbergasted with that. Like,
and it's live action. It's in the vein of the live action Lion King. Um, I mean, it's new, at least.
uh,
you know, we'll see. We'll get see where they take it, because I mean, for me, not so much more for Mufasa, but I'd be more intrigued to see the origins of why Scar is the way he is, because that has to be like a thing, at least. You know,
have Star Wars and Marvel to thank for that. We got to have everyone's fucking side story.
mhm,
Fucking have Max Rebo's day off soon.
yeah. And there's a lot. There's a lot of other Disney stuff. Some Pixar movie. Inside Out 2 is in production.
Zootopia Plus, right?
Zootopia Plus. Elementals, which is kind of interesting. Not so much I know about that, but it's just it looks kind of, it looks Pixar-y. It's probably going to be good. Pixar movies are pretty decent. But yeah, dude, there's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff happening.
See Jackson again, the reboot.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we've talked about enough stuff for today.
Mhm.
However, we do have, for the first time in a long time, Joel, we have a question.
Oh, we have questions, I think.
So while I bring those up, Joel, can you remind the people where they could send questions that we're about to read live on air?
Yo, you want to hit us with some questions? You don't like our hot takes? You think they're cold, or vice versa? You agree with us? You think we're the fucking best? Well, first, one of the places you can reach us is unitedwenerdcast at gmail.com. Where? unitedwenerdcast at gmail.com. Hit us with all your takes, please. Bad, you agree with us? You don't? You want to tell me why Moon Knight should have died 5 times? I want to hear it. I'm going to hard disagree, but hit us with your questions, comments, critiques there. Let us know what's up. Reach out to us. If you can't hit us there, we're on Twitter, Instagram, look, sure soon TikTok, and whatever thing comes next. But can you find us there? Well, I'm about to tell you. But you can also reach us there to contact us. Slide into our DMs. Our questions there. Comment, like it. Say, I don't agree with you, Joel. I thought Book of Boba Fett was dumb as fuck. And I'm gonna be like, what the hell's wrong with you? But listen. So Twitter is United_we_nerd. On YouTube, just type in United We Nerd. Find our logo there with the shield. Of course, here, Twitch, United We Nerd. On YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Leave us a comment down below, please. Let us know what's up. Comment, like it, hit the like button. Get us out there. Help us find other nerds. You know, Facebook is just facebook.com/UnitedWeNerd. And Instagram is United_we_nerd as well. Find us there. Reach out to us there. So, were you excited for D23, Street Fighter 6, anything we talked about? You know, when Soul Calibur 7 comes out, do you want them to have that good in multiplayer? Come on, let us know what's up, please. Of course, we have any thoughts on Overwatch. Let us know. Let us know. All right, Brian.
And of course, if you send us a question on any of those services, it could go something like this. From Instagram, we have Sarah and T asking,
Yeah.
what's something you've learned about podcasting since starting the podcast? We haven't talked about this in a while, so there's been some new things. Joel, how about you take that first?
Lot. Just coordinating, recording, editing, working together, finding the days that work, find days that don't work, availability, you know, last minute things, occasionally connection, weather, all that shit. It takes a lot of work. And like edit the podcast for listening. I put it on my TikTok. I've destroyed so many from me and Brian Marcello. Like we don't think about it when we're live, but when I'm editing, like, God damn. And also
No.
when we're just like thinking, because we're thinking about the right thing to say, it'll be like, it's right now. It's like, God damn it, are we fucking dumb? So editing is, you know, as I've said before, I have a major respect for editors now. Like,
Oh, for
any
sure.
editor out there, I mean, I already, you know, it's hard work already, like with some music I've done, but just like working, like collaborating with other people, like I can't even imagine like working on a fucking movie or like animating. That's wild. Okay, unless you worked on Racist Spider-Man. But anyway, just major respect. I mean, it was just the director, really. But anyway, like editing is really hard, and I've learned to really appreciate all the forms of art and everything for that. So, for sure. What about you, Brian?
Oh, like what you just said, but just like to the nth degree. Like shit, even like when we were starting out, it was like a trip, just like learning everything from that. But even like more recently, like we've just delved into like a whole nother beast. Like, you know, we went through a whole process of like getting, you know, more into the social media. It's like, do we do a great job at it still? No, but we're, you know, we're
That's
slowly.
hard.
It's hard. Like if you're a person that didn't really like keep up on social media all the time, and knowing that like something like a podcast like thrives and survives through social media, um you learn really quick how hard it could be like to just like figure out what to do. And like sometimes, you know, sometimes we don't. And whether that's a good thing or bad thing, you know, I guess it just depends on the person. um And like you said before, editing, we've only been doing like these video versions for, a few months, and let alone doing like live stream versions right now on Twitch. Um it's been a real weird journey, and like we're still it's still a learning process. We've had to, at least for me, had to learn to just kind of like take it with a grain of salt when like something doesn't go right. Like the
Today,
past few like today, we started a little late because we had we had a bungle with with a fucking the setup, and like in the uh podcast from the most recent past, we had some audio issues,
few
back
times,
background music bleeding into the intro to the show, or
literally
for
reviewing Morbius ruined that podcast. Like I can't
yes,
even.
um or just
I mean, 'cause
forgetting to like hard record this podcast, so we just fucked that up too.
a lot of moving
But
parts.
yeah, it's a lot of moving parts. It's it's still worth it. um it's a learning process. There's always going to be something new you have to figure out on a daily basis. But it's still a lot of fun to do. It can be a pain, but it's worth it, you know
Hmm.
um
Shout
but
out to
yeah.
Lisa for helping us with our social media presence get a little
Yeah,
better.
and
Thank you for that.
our friend Carla
To our
too.
listener. Yeah, thank you guys, Lisa and Carla. Yeah, especially with the help on TikTok. Jesus, man, that's a whole new monster. I'm still trying to figure out as far as PR and stuff goes.
Dude, I
So,
still haven't taken that leap yet. Like TikTok is fucking scary.
dude, it is. Dude, I posted a fucking Destiny video. Like, this is cool. Some guys like, why wouldn't it be cool? I'm like, man, fuck you.
What kind of comment is that?
What do you expect? I'm like, fucker. Like I just
Oh,
liked this. I just say I like it, and someone's like, "Oh, I didn't real. I thought you were being sarcastic." Like how? Oh, whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna
yeah,
complain about the internet forever. But
yeah. Um, we'll take one more question. Also from Serenity on Instagram. Thoughts on the current Marvel phase so far? So phase 4.
garbage, trash,
I know
garbage,
we've talked about
trash,
it before, but now is the time to air any dirty laundry. And when
garbage, trash.
it um I'll start off with this. I've personally been having a fun time with phase 4. I feel like we're getting into like cool unknown territory that we haven't been in a long time. And I know that there are people that feel like this is the weakest out of the phases so far, but like that opinion's fine if they feel that way. But from my understanding is that, this is the new building up period. Like we we've spent all this time with all these characters, and now after Endgame we've lost half of them. So now we need to regain the troops. We're continuing some storylines that were left off. We're meeting new characters for the very first time, so we're getting um like more introduced to them, and now we have like Disney Plus shows. So now we're even able to kind of flesh out those characters before they even hit like the movie screens, which you know with things like with Miss Marvel. We had a whole season with her, and now we're gonna get the Marvels next year. So now we're already familiar with Kamala, and then we're gonna have some fun with that movie. And we had Multiverse of Madness earlier this year. A lot of people were kind of iffy on it, give or take depending on you. But we're getting into this cool, strange territory where now we're gonna get the Secret Invasion, we're gonna get Secret Wars eventually down the line, and all this other multiverse kind of stuff. And I feel like people just have to be patient. I know it's hard, and we've had over 11, 12 years now of MCU stuff, so a lot of people are feeling burnt out by some things. I'm enjoying it. I just go in to have fun and just kind of like, take me for a ride. Um, but I just feel like people have to be patient, you know. let them. They have a plan. Just let them play it out. What about you, Joel? What's your thoughts on Phase 4?
I agree. I do see some people are like saying it is. Sorry, I should go closer to the mic. Um, Also, I forgot to mention I've been watching What We Do in the Shadows season 4. It was really good. Um, just remembered that like 20 minutes later. Um, it's been great stuff. I really love everything from Phase 4, except maybe Eternals, only because it was an info dump. Like I enjoy it, like repeated watches, but I'm not like going on my way to see it. But everything's been really strong. I do feel like it is almost too much. I know that's a complaint, and I flip flop on it. Sometimes like, well, of course you don't have to ingest it if you don't want to. Just don't feel left, don't complain that you're being left out. But also like you kind of need to be updated, right? So it's a
Mhm.
weird in between. Like before I was kind of harsh, and now I'm like, it is a lot. It's a lot to keep up with, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I guess that's the other thing. We're spoiled now. Before it was like one Marvel movie every 2 years. Now we're getting like three. That's fucking
We're getting
ridiculous,
3
dude.
and like 4 Disney shows.
So I can like for some marinating on it for a while. It is
Mhm.
a lot. You might feel FOMO, and it's like I don't want to feel FOMO because I have to watch these shows. Like you don't really have to, but like I do understand that like in order like some people think like you need to watch everything to watch the newest movie. Not necessarily, but there are some
I
things that'll make sense.
I will say that Phase 4 has been the best phase so far to be able to pick and choose what you want to watch, because so far nothing's really tied into each other that much in detail. Like the only thing that really had to do with each other was um WandaVision, Multiverse of Madness, and like a little bit of What If. But besides that, everything else has just been kind of on its own, and it's mostly to do with the fact that we're getting new characters. So this is like the
Mm.
beginning point. And like even uh for like the movies like Thor, it's like, yeah, you can benefit from knowing what happened, but I feel like Thor did a great job of like telling what you needed to know, at least for
Yeah,
Love and Thunder, to
yeah.
like get into the movie. So I feel
In
like
case I
even
forgot,
Hmm?
Disney Plus. Thunder.
Oh, that's right, you can even just watch everything on Disney Plus.
My bad. Go ahead.
No, but yeah, you know, we're actually going to be wrapping up on Phase 4 pretty soon. I think next year is going to be like the end of it. So
Isn't Honda Forever the last part of Phase 4?
yes, actually, you're right. So this year, unless if hopefully if Wakanda Forever doesn't get pushed back, I don't think it will. I think they're dead set on having it come out at fall time this year. So you know, it's stuff like this is always going to be divisive. No matter who you are, no matter what your opinions are. So I feel like it's best just if you enjoy it, just you know, go enjoy it. Try not to get other people's opinions like letting you down or making you feel like you shouldn't be enjoying it. Everybody has their own tastes. Everybody has their own wants from this fucking decade long franchise that just has a miracle pumping out machine from Kevin Feige. Um, yeah, I am I am excited. I am enjoying what they're showing us, and I'm looking forward to what they have coming down the line.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I will say.
Yeah, man.
All right.
I will say I feel like No Way Home. It helps to know stuff, but
Oh, for sure. like No Way Home like dumps like 3 different movie Spider-Man franchises on you all at
You could
once.
still enjoy it without it, I think, to a good degree. But if you have previous knowledge, does it enhance it? Hell yeah, it did for me. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Oh yeah, we were there.
I still think that's one of the best movies of Phase 4. Is No Way Home, which surprises me. Those Spider-Man movies, people like are really divisive on. Anyway, go ahead, Brian.
No, yeah, I agree. Like recently, I've been hearing a little bit more people like not like talking shit, but like saying that like No Way Home like was kind of a bad movie. I'm like, did we watch the same movie?
Right?
It's like, what the fuck? I enjoyed the fuck out of that movie. But then again, I guess we're both biased being Spider-Man fans, so
Oh hell yeah, I'm hella biased.
yeah.
Comes to Marvel,
Uh
I'm hella biased. Hey, and DC, Black Adam's coming out soon. Dr. Fate looking good. That's all I can say so far. All right. Anyway, go ahead, Brian.
the one movie, the one DC movie.
The Rock and Friends.
Rock and Friends.
Rock and Friends.
All right. Um yeah, we've been talking long enough. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I know we kind of went long, but we had a lot to talk about, and it was good catching up.
It's been
But
a
of
couple
course, but
weeks.
it's been a lot. It's been a few weeks. But yeah, before we go, Joel, would you like to tell people where they can find you?
Yeah. You can find me on SoundCloud and Spotify under Mad Mac Monster Mind. You can also find me on Twitch under Acoustic Avenger, which I'm contemplating changing now every day for some reason.
Mm.
Also, I'm on Instagram. Follow me under Mad Mac Monster Mind Instagram. Acoustic Avenger on Twitch, where the one is replaced. Sorry, the I is replaced with a one. Find me there. Talk to me about nerd shit, or don't. You can see me retweeting a bunch of shit. Stuff that makes me laugh. Also, just quick shout out to Pathios Productions on our podcast. He helped me with some voice acting stuff. So check him out.
Oh,
Yep, he's
hell
into
yeah,
Warhammer and all that. He had me do like a Fallout voice acting thing. So thank you for listening,
nice.
my bro. And I think he's based in Texas, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I know he's probably excited for that Fallout show that they're making with Amazon too, right? All right. So just a
Hell
quick
yeah.
shout out to him. Thanks again for giving me some voice acting experience. All right, Brian, where can we find you?
Well, of course, you can find me on the social medias on Twitter and Instagram at Brian_Saber, as well as here on Twitch too at Brian Saber as well. I do have a TikTok. I haven't posted anything yet. I'm still debating if I want to delve into that world. It's honestly scary. I don't know. TBD.
Already doing it here, so might as well, man.
Yeah, I guess. Um, but yeah. And also, Marcelo had to cut out early, but also help him with give him the shout out. You can find him on Twitter at M90plays as well. Hopefully we can get him on longer next time. It would be cool to have us all three riding again. Um, uh, since we went a little long Twitch chat, we won't be having a post show this time. Sorry, but next time for sure. And for those of you watching on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't, of course, there you can like and subscribe to this channel. Help us out. Get United We Nerd up and running as far as we could take, and maybe even farther away. It'd be really cool. But yeah, and of course, people on podcast services, thank you so much for listening as well. We appreciate y'all hanging out here since day one. Thank you very much. Yeah. So, with all that being said, uh, thank you for hanging out, and always keep on nerding.
He's here, he's there, he's every fucking where. Roy Kent.